Today, we are going to discuss about organization as brains, learning, innovation, and creativity in organizations. To start with this topic, I would like to make a brief introduction of it. So, let's start. Organizations can be seen as living brains that process information, learn, and adapt. The metaphor of thinking of organization as a brain compares the organization to a set of functions that process and even learn information over the long term as the brain does. Creativity and innovation allow businesses to develop unique products, services, or business models that set them apart. By offering something new or superior, they gain a competitive edge and attract customers. What's the brain metaphor? The brain represents intelligence, adaptability, and self-regulation. Organizations can act like neural networks, processing data, making decisions, and improving through feedback. In Gareth Morgan's approach, people who see organizations as brains are concerned with the collective intelligence and organized wisdoms of the organization. They see employees as sensors, in management layers as sense-making functions in the pursuit of developing a learning organization. The images of organization by Gareth Morgan. I believe this is something very important that can help us understand how companies or organizations can function together. We have different images here: machine, organism, brain, cultural system, political system, psychic prison, instrument of domination, flags of transformation. We will discuss this a little bit more in the next. Machine. An organization is a series of connected parts arranged in a logical order to produce a repeatable output. What is an organism? An organization is a collective response to its environment, and to survive must adapt as the environment changes. The brain. An organization is a set of functions designed to process information and learn over time. The cultural system in an organization is a mini society with its own culture and subcultures defined by their values, norms, beliefs, and rituals. The political system in an organization is a game of gaining, influencing, and coordinating power. The psychic prison. An organization is a collection of myths and stories that restrict people's thoughts, ideas, and actions. The instrument of domination. An organization is a means to impose one's will on others and exploit resources for personal gains. Flux and transformation. An organization is an ever-changing system, indivisible from its environment. The metaphor emphasized in 4 topics. I found it very important and very helpful just to think about this metaphor, this emphasis of these topics that we are going to discuss. Decentralized thinking promotes an inclusive ecosystem where all members contribute, not just top management. This approach generates a diverse range of ideas that drive the organization's growth. Learning and adaptation. The organization learns from its mistakes, continually evolving and reshaping its behavior based on new insights. This culture of resilience ensures that challenges are approached with agility and creativity. Information networks act as the organization's lifeblood by promoting open communication channels that enable quick, informed responses to challenges. This dynamic dialogue fosters collaboration, keeping the organization nimble in a changing landscape. And for last, creativity and innovation flourish in this environment fueled by spontaneous connections among individuals. When people share ideas freely, the atmosphere buzzes with potential, leading to groundbreaking concepts and inspiring collective progress. In this video, you are going to see some very interesting point of views about how organizations can grow and how they can apply all this knowledge to its companies or organizations.
The world is truly changing, is it not? I mean, we are in a crazy time of disruption. The speed and pace of change is just relentless. It's just unbelievable. We used to talk about speed of change in kind of an upward curve, and now that curve is nearly vertical. Change is happening so fast. And that's true with innovation as well. In times of disruption, there are those organizations that will flourish and those organizations that will literally perish. And so we want you to be one of those organizations that will flourish. The companies that are really doing well, the organizations and the people, frankly, who are really doing well, are the ones who really understand that innovation is something that we need to be doing all the time. In this new 21st century, ideas will become the currency of the future. And so I think we need to rethink the way we see the world, right? We need to change the way we see things, because when we do that, the things we see will change as well. Imagine how our world would be if we focused on opportunities rather than problems, on our strengths instead of our weaknesses, on what we can do instead of what we can't do. In fact, I would posture that organizations should become idea farmers, that we should be more agrarian in our cultures, that we should be nurturing and feeding and fertilizing ideas versus this more industrial and service-oriented culture that so many organizations currently have. Spiral thinking allows us to craft ideas with intention in mind, to craft dreams knowing who we are and who we wish to become. And I think spiral thinking will become the new model for innovation in the future. It will allow us to articulate our dreams and spiral upward our present circumstance to meet this future possibility. We need to move forward in a straight line toward the dreams we're headed. We may take a detour here and there, but it'll be intentional, and we'll do it because we want to. We can't let fear stop us. It sounds easy, and actually it really is. It is fairly easy. It's not that there won't be obstacles. It's not that there might not be challenges. But when you have a culture that's willing to take a leap of belief, that can see the future and can imagine it, we're all going to rally, and we're all going to bring our talents and passions together to get us past the hurdles, to get us beyond the obstacles, to get us through the challenges. And by having that leap of belief, by seeing this future in a different way, by having an ability to spiral up, we're able to accomplish that.
As we can see here, companies, organizations have a wide variety of tools that they can use to be successful. We are changing, the world is changing, and we have a lot of opportunities to grow as a company. The key characteristics of organizational brains. The different regions of the brain specialize in different activities. They are somewhat capable of acting in place of one another. Rather than relying on the central control region of instructions, each part of the brain has a remarkable capacity both to execute its task and to know what is going on elsewhere. This is taken by the expert from Dalmer with Fisher, Communication in Organization. This is part of my COMM 250 class. So now we are going to talk about these key characteristics. Information processing, continuous flow of knowledge, feedback loops, learning from outcomes and errors, distributed intelligence, every employee contributes to learning, adaptability, ability to adjust to new environments and technologies. Organizations thrive when knowledge flows like neurons in motion. So, these topics that we are going just to talk now are going to help us to understand a little bit more how we can apply all these principles or this metaphor to our own organizations. We are going to start with learning in organizations, defined as the process of improving actions through better knowledge and understanding. involves both individual and collective learning. For example, after a project failure, teams often conduct a detailed analysis to identify the factors that contributed to the setback. These investigations help them uncover specific missteps and gain insights that can inform future strategies, reducing the risk of similar challenges in upcoming projects. Types of learning. We have here two types. Single loop learning, fixing errors within existing systems. For example, adjusting a marketing plan. We can change, we can improve. Double loop learning, questioning and changing underlying assumptions. For example, rethinking how success is defined. Now, innovation is a very big part of an organization. Why? Innovation arises when learning is encouraged and information flows freely. Organizations that think like brains are adaptive and creative. And innovation requires 3 points: open communication, experimentation, and psychological safety. Why creativity in organization is so important? Creativity is the generation of new and valuable ideas, and encouraged through collaboration across departments, freedom to experiment, and diversity of thought. Very important steps to make our companies grow. So through this research, I have learned so many valuable things that can help us understand how great companies had its own culture and how they have success. These are my personal insights that I would like to share with you, the things that I have learned and I value for my personal growth and just to apply in the future when I can have my organization or a company, or if I'm working within a company or an organization. So this is my personal insights. Viewing organization as brains underscores the vital role of team learning and adaptability. This perspective motivates me to develop into a leader who actively promotes continuous growth and innovative problem solving. As a future HR coach, I'm committed to cultivating a culture of learning at all levels, encouraging everyone to embrace a growth mindset. I appreciate taking your time to see this presentation. Thank you so much.